Hi everyone, and welcome to Word for Wednesday as we move to the fourth book of the Old Testament, the book of Numbers. Genesis, a book of beginnings. Exodus, describing the mass departure of the Israelites from slavery in Egypt. Leviticus, a book of laws to shape the life of this redeemed people once they arrive in the promised land. And Numbers? Well, as you might guess, there are some numbers in the book. The book begins, in fact, a whole year after the Exodus from Egypt, most of which has been spent camped at the foot of Mount Sinai. And it begins with a census of the people, counting how many came out of Egypt, and especially how many can bear arms if necessary. But it's much more than a book of numbers, a book of statistics. In fact, we pick up the story again, as God's redeemed people leave Mount Sinai and continue the long trek to the promised land. Within a short while, they're on the southern border at Kadesh Barnea. 12 spies are sent across the border by Moses to check out the promised land. 2 come back and give a good report. It's an amazing place, just as God said, flowing with milk and honey. They brought back a cluster of grapes the size of basketballs, and we can take it with God's help, they say. But the other 10 spies gave a bad report, convincing the majority that the task was just too difficult. The cities are too well defended, the people are too big. We felt like grasshoppers and they seemed like giants to us. In fact, there was even talk of giving Moses the sack and appointing a new leader to take them all the way back to Egypt. They have such short memories. Tragically, their stubborn refusal to trust God means they spend the next 40 years in the desert. 40 years going nowhere and doing nothing when they could have been in the promised land all along. And time again during that 40 years, they show their lack of trust in God's goodness and power, and time again, God responds with patient grace. At one point, in chapter 22 onwards, God even turns the attempts of a local seer Balaam to curse the Israelites into blessing. Every time Balaam opens his mouth to curse God's people, a blessing comes out. He even finds himself unexpectedly predicting the coming of Jesus. By the way, Balaam's story includes a talking donkey. It's worth reading the book of Numbers just for that. By the end of the book, 40 years have passed in the desert, and the Israelites are once again on the edge of the promised land, this time to the east of the river Jordan, across from Jericho. Moses has anointed his assistant Joshua to succeed him as leader, because God won't allow Moses into the promised land for losing his rag with the people for their stubbornness. But he will be around a bit longer, as we'll see next time when we move to the book of Deuteronomy. For now, let me leave you with the beautiful priestly blessing from the book of Numbers, chapter 6 and verse 23. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron and his sons, this is how you're to bless the Israelites. Say to them, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. So they will put my name on the Israelites, and I will bless them." May his name be on you today, and may he bless you too. Amen.